Yes, people, what is good? What is good? Whether you're watching live, whether you're watching afterwards, big up yourselves each and every time. Hope everyone is blessed and everyone is well. Yo, this is it. I weren't meant to do this today. Look at the time. Look how late it is in the UK. But I've been out and then I've come home and I've paid attention to my phone. And it's a madness going on. Big up yourselves, everyone jumping in the chat. I have no idea how long I'll be here. It probably won't be too long. I don't know what I'm going to say. I haven't thought about this, nothing. And the reason I'm doing this on my channel and not Copish mainly as well, is because I might say something that's going to get me in trouble. I don't know. So I'm like, I might as well just take responsibility on my own and not get the man them in trouble. I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know. Yo. All right. And I haven't read the statement, by the way. And I kind of did it on purpose as well, because I thought, let me just read it while I'm live so I get like the true reaction, you know what I mean? Like my real reaction. Do you see what I'm saying? Let's do this, people. Big up everyone who's in the chat live as well. I know this is really, really late, so I didn't even expect anyone to jump in. So big up yourselves every time. Smash that like button for me, guys. Subscribe if you're new. Right. Let's do this, people. Yeah? So, Fabrizio, breaking. Alexander Isak has released a statement. When promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship cannot continue. I'm proud to be recognized by my fellow professionals with a place in the PFA Premier League Team of the Season for 24-25. First and foremost, I want to thank my teammates and everyone at Newcastle who has supported me along the way. I am at a ceremony. I am not at the ceremony tonight. With everything going on, it didn't feel right to be there. I've kept quiet for a long time while others have spoken. That silence has allowed people to push their own version of events, even though they don't know. Even though they know it doesn't reflect what was really said and agreed behind closed doors. The reality is that promises were made and the club has known my position for a long time. To now act as if these issues are only emerging is misleading. When promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue. That's where things are for me right now, and why change is in the best interest for everybody, not just myself. So he was lied to. That's basically what he's telling us right now. That's basically what he's telling us right now. So I'm just letting that sink in. Now, is that the full statement? Because if I'm not mistaken, let's see if that is the full statement. Let's have a look. Okay. I'll see. I'll see. Okay, so let me remove this. And let me go on to... Yes, big up everyone jumping in the chat as well, man. Big up your damn selves each and every time, people. Big up, big up. Let me see which one I want to bring up next. Okay, so this is the Newcastle statement. Hang on. I've got some unexpected guests. Man, like Jamie in the building. What go on, brother?
Big up, man. I saw the bat signal. I saw the bat signal.
Yeah, well, we haven't even spoken, so I don't even know what your take is on this shit. Let let me just get through Newcastle's statement, and then I'll get
Go for it.
Yeah. Right. So we are disappointed to have been alerted to a social media post by Alexander Isak this evening. We are clear in response that Alex remains under contract and that no commitment has ever been made by the club officials that Alex can leave Newcastle this summer. We want to keep our best players, but we also understand players have their own wishes and we listen to their views. As explained to Alex and his representatives, we must always take into consideration the best interests of Newcastle United, the team and our support in all decisions. And we have been clear that the conditions of the sale this summer have not transpired. We do not foresee these conditions being met. This is a proud football club with proud traditions, and we strive to retain our family feel. Alex remains part of our family, and will be welcomed back when he is ready to rejoin his teammates. Talk to me, bro.
It's extremely weak, that statement. It's extremely weak. That basically tells me that if Liverpool come in for the right money, they'll let him go.
Do you think so?
Yeah. Go back and look at the FSG statement when they about Coutinho in the August before we sold him in the January. Have a look at the difference in wording in that statement to this statement. I've got it. Actually, I've got that statement. I can find it for you right now.
Go for it. Let's have a look. While you're doing that, let me bring up what seems to be, which is the part that's angered me, Jay, if I'm being totally honest with you. Out of everything that I've seen today, this is the part that angers me. So Craig Hope has also come back and said, exclusive, Newcastle now have no intention of allowing Alexander Isak to leave in light of the bombshell statement. Club have pursued alternatives and would have explored the sale to Liverpool, but message from the top tonight is clear. He'll be told he is staying. Mm-hmm. This is the one that vexes me if it's true, Jay. This is the one that's going to get me to have a crash out.
Well, this is PSG statement. FSG statement on Philip Coutinho in August before we sold him in January. We wish to offer clarity as regards to our position on a possible transfer of Philip Coutinho. The club's definite stance is that no offers for Philippe will be considered and he will remain a member of Liverpool Football Club when the window closes. There's the difference. They will the stance no offers for Philippe will be considered. Nowhere in Newcastle statement do they put that. Basically, if Liverpool come in with 140 million, they're selling.
This statement here, I don't like. I hope you're right, Jay.
Yeah,
I really hope you're right.
Look, Craig Hope he's very close to. Obviously, so some executives at Newcastle that are feeding in this information. Newcastle got a safe face over all this as well. You know, their star player literally just came out on Instagram the day of the PFA Awards and basically said the club is lying to everybody. The people that work for the club and the journalists that run for the club are smearing my name and making me sound like shit, where in fact it was the football club. So the club today have come out and protected themselves. Now, when Isak says at the end of his statement, this is now done. It's done. This can no longer continue. I can't be here no more, basically. We need to move on for the best of me and the football club. There is no chance in hell you can bring Isak back into that club. He's just not going to want to be there. He's just not going to want to be there at all. And
no, but it seems like they don't care anymore.
No, well, what are they going to do? Pay a guy like is the problem? Is the problem with Isak? He's got 3 years left in his deal. They don't give him a new contract. He's got 2 years left on his deal, which means Liverpool can probably buy him cheaper next summer than this summer because he's got a year left on his deal, and he's not and he doesn't want to renegotiate a contract, which means the buying club have got negotiation room to buy that footballer. If then they get Newcastle going no again, and he goes to his last year in his contract, someone's going to pick him up for about 80 million quid. So Newcastle have either got to offer him a brand new contract of around 400 grand a week to keep him sweet and put a release clause in it, or if Liverpool come in with the right amount of money, they let him go. Because have you not seen Bruno Guimaraes' Instagram tonight as well?
Well, big up yourself, Tom. Welcome, G.
Yeah, Tomo.
I'm looking at this one here, right? So I think this might have something to do with what you're saying, bro. So I know, like, I don't know if Indy's playing around here or if he's being serious, but he's dropped this today. The information has come from sources close to Newcastle that there is a civil war breaking out between the players over this stuff.
Yeah.
The players feel disrespected. The senior players want him gone. Certain players are on his side. Eddie Howe is annoyed at the whole thing, and Isak is actually blanking players.
Yeah, Craig Oakes also said this as well.
Yeah, Craig Oakes said there's a divide between the players that are supporting him and the players that are against him.
Yeah.
So
Bruno
Tom, what's your
Guimaraes
take
hates
on
him.
this?
Bruno Guimaraes hates him. Bruno Guimaraes has done an Instagram today where he's given up this look of a picture of him in a Newcastle shirt, just like that after his ex statement.
And I just think it's quite obvious. He's going to get the move eventually. Whether it's at the back end of this window, when all of a sudden opportunities became available and he became too detrimental to have in and around the club, that Newcastle maximise as much as they could get for him now. Or we get to January, we get him in January, and the line is Newcastle tried everything they could to reintegrate him into the group, but Alexander Isak was against it. Therefore, Newcastle managed to hold Liverpool over a barrel and get whatever they wanted out of the deal, whether it'll be like 100 million in January. It's going to happen. I don't see how he gets reintegrated. He doesn't see it himself. So if the player who's supposed to be reintegrating can't see how he's going to reintegrate, then I don't have high hopes that he's going to reintegrate very well.
No, he's told them today. I've never seen a player put on a statement, I'm done with this football club.
No. Do you know what, boys? Here's the part. I'm not worried about Isak winning out. What I'm worried about is the fact that these are powerful owners who are stupidly rich and always used to get in their own way, and they are not going to be happy with their club being made to look this way. And they will cut their nose off to spite their face to look proud and, you know what I mean, and keep some kind of honor, more so than to look like mugs and just have the player make them let him go.
We say
That's
that,
what I'm worried about.
We say that, but in reality, if come January, Newcastle at 8th or 9th, Isak's got about 2 goals because he doesn't look arse on the pitch, and Newcastle's season's in turmoil, I don't really think anyone's going to sit there and go, oh, you know what, though? They fucking kept Isak, didn't they? They kept Isak.
They're going to look like idiots.
They look like even bigger fucking dickheads.
Yeah, they look like idiots. The fact of the matter is, Newcastle, Liverpool have done nothing wrong in this, by the way. Liverpool offered him 120 million, a British record for Alexander Isak. They turned it down. You know, 120 million is the highest transfer for a player in British football history, and they turned it down.
Yeah.
What happened ultimately is Newcastle thought they could sit at the big boy table. They couldn't, and now they're panicking and floundering around, whilst Liverpool... Well, I know me and you've already had a bit of a thingy in a group chat about this drift.
Yeah.
Liverpool in a position where they can pivot from Isak for 6 months and manage for 6 months without him.
This is where we've been. This is where we've been disagreeing, bro. The season could be not over by January, but we could be pretty much out of a title race by January, bro. We could almost be throwing away a season by not having another forward.
No, but so I think what will end up happening if Isak is 100% not happening, even though I think he probably can still happen this window. If Liverpool can't get Isak this window, then they pivot to that 60, 70 million quid winger that they've been going on about, that they will they, won't they? They'll go grab him, because if they don't have to pay 140 million for Isak, all of a sudden you get a little bit more wiggle room in terms of how much you can spend on the winger. So if we get that winger in, we can put Chiesa up front as the backup striker for September till January. Get Isak in January, and you're not really worse off for anything.
All right,
but who would that winger be, though?
I don't think Liverpool buy an attacker at all if they don't get Isak, because I think all the money's going to go into Isak. I think with Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes, they're willing to upset the fan base because they want to get their guy. They want to get the best in class. and they don't think there's a better player out there, the best in class than Alexander Isak.
I don't disagree on that, Jamie. But the fact of the matter is, the manager's come out and said we need more than one forward. So we can't hang on the manager out to dry, and I don't think the club are going to do that this window. Isak, if he came in, would ultimately
I'd get Wissa.
just play one position.
I'd get Wissa. I'd get Wissa. Honestly,
no,
I'd get no, just for the vibes. Just for the vibes.
I know. Logically, all you do is you go and buy a winger who can play both sides.
There is a player Liverpool might go and get and pivot to that not a lot of people would like, because Richard Hughes is a big fan of him.
Where are you going with this?
That's Nicholas Jackson.
Fuck that. No, we don't.
I promise you, Jay, Tom, as I sit here right now, if Liverpool buy Nicholas Jackson this season, I'm not watching. And I'm done. No,
Richard Hughes is a big fan of him.
Done. He just made the window go from an 8 to a 4. I'm done. Done. If Liverpool ever bought Jackson,
because he's available, I'm only thinking because Chelsea have now lowered their prices continuously now for Jackson, and you can probably pick him up for 50 million, right?
Because he's shit, Jay.
I don't know. I think Jackson's all right, man. I think Jackson gets double digit goals.
He's a decent winger.
Nunes got double-digit goals at Liverpool, though.
Yeah, so but he won't be. The thing is, he won't be our main attacker, will he? Ekitike will still be our main guy.
Neither was Nunes, though. I'm basically just buying another version of Nunes. I got rid of him.
The reason I say that is because I think it's an easy deal to do, and they might see value in that deal, right? And it's an easy transfer to do. I'm trying to think of strikers or attackers around Europe right now.
Don't think of strikers.
That is even wingers though. What wide players are value, because that's what Liverpool look at. They look at value a lot. Like I know a lot of people talk about Fofana. I don't know about Fofana. I don't watch him enough to be perfectly honest. But is he that much better than Rio?
He's too young for it to be like.
So like, what's the point of buying him? What's the point of buying him? You know, you want to buy a proper player, a proper baller. So who's out there with value with 13 days left in the window? Not a lot.
I knew it was going to end up being stupidness, you know.
Hardly anyone. I think there's a world where Liverpool wait till January.
I mean, there's options. If you're really looking at it, there are options.
But not good ones, Tom. Not good.
I mean, look. So if I'm just going off the top of my head, Lookman still wants out of Atalanta. That's someone who can play every single position in that front line.
Remember, if I'm not mistaken, though, Lookman's about 27, 28 now.
Yeah, but
they won't buy him.
No, but that means what? He's 27, 28. That means I can get, 3-4 years out of him?
Yeah, but they know they kept Diaz for 2 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, bro, but that's why they sold Diaz, because they felt like there was no, you know what I mean? Like
they sold Diaz because Luis Diaz was asking for 250 grand a week at 30 years of age.
I don't think. I think Lookman. I think there's a reason Lookman plays his best football in Italy. You know, I watched a lot of Lookman. I watched a lot of Italian football last season. I watched a lot of Lookman, and the way he plays suits Italian football to get the best out of his game. I don't think he'd be that.
I don't disagree, Jamie. But do you think if we brought in Lookman to be this rotational attacker who can play one game up top and another game on the left, you can do much better than him for 40 million?
I'd rather buy Jackson from Chelsea.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
Honestly, I actually think Jackson's a good player.
Oh, mate, what are we doing?
I think.
Do you know what, Jay? He's not even a crap player. You're right, but he's not Liverpool level. He's not Liverpool level,
because he wouldn't be a striker. But I think by January, when we bought Isak, he'd go to the wide left area, and that's where he'd play.
Who, Jackson?
Yeah.
So look, Jay, if the plan is you're going to buy someone who can do striker and left wing for 6 months, then when you get Isak, the guy goes exclusively to left wing. Surely you'd buy the guy who's a more natural left winger in Lookman, who can also do a job up top. And then once Isak comes in, you've got Gakpo and Lookman as your wide.
I'm just trying to think of players that are available in this market right now. That's why I bring Jackson up, because he's available in the market right now. I think he's a good player, but Drifty's right. He's probably not good enough to play for Liverpool. But I just
Is it Rodrigo? Is the only one that would actually be
The
the thing with Rodrigo, he didn't
Rodrigo
play a
has a
minute
humiliation king. He does not
Yeah.
want to leave Real Madrid.
He doesn't
would
want to leave
rather
Real
sit
Madrid.
on
Yeah, no,
the
he
bench.
doesn't. I know he doesn't.
I don't want to buy bitches. He's a bitch.
Yeah, he's definitely being like he's been
He didn't
told
play
that he's
today.
not wanted, and he's still just.
He never played
Either
today.
Barcola wouldn't be good enough, and it would cost astronomical money anyway.
But Barcola would be good enough, but you're not getting him now.
Yeah, the
Do you
problem
think
is,
so?
Yeah,
players.
I'm big on Barcola. I think Barcola is brilliant.
What we got to remember, guys, is that if Liverpool do want Isak and it's January or next summer or this summer, whenever it is, and they're deciding that is their guy and they're just going to wait for him, they're not going to spend over £80 million on another attacker if they're going to wait for
I
Isak.
agree.
So they're going to have to. That's why I brought up someone like a Jackson, because how available he is for a good price.
Jackson's going to cost you about 60 million all in, because they want an obligation in the loan deal. So they want 10 million quid just on his loan, and then they want like 55 million obligation.
Who
I ain't
else
fucking
is
doing
that? I'm not sure who else is out there right now this late in the window.
But Jay, that's why I'm so angry, because there isn't anyone, bro. So it means that we don't get Isak, all our eggs are in one basket, and it screws us. Do you get what I mean? Not getting Isak really puts us in a.
No, because do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? Again, the mentality is losing Isak. Isak's a world-class footballer. So if you don't get him now, you're not getting a world-class footballer. But what that just means to me is that, I mean, this is probably where you disagree, Drift. I think a front three of Gakpo, Salah, Ekitike is good enough for 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
No, in terms of quality, it's good enough, bro. But that means that they'll be run into the ground. They'll get no rest. There's no rotation. Do you get what I mean? And if one of them gets an injury, then all of a sudden, like,
I do have rotation. If I buy that young winger, if I buy that young forward, I've got Salah, Ekitike, Gakpo as my starting ones, and then I've got Chiesa, and I've got insert young forward here as 4th and 5th choice, with Rio coming in for the cup games where he's 6th choice. I have 6 options there, and I've got Sobs.
No, but who's the? What are you talking about? If we did buy a winger, are you talking about?
So again, if we're thinking about younger forwards, I'll just use the guy I mentioned on Jamie's stream, Assam Diao from Como. Can play both right, left. Very impressive at Como. Got 11 GA in 15 games for them last season. He's only 20. You buy him. Chiesa can do minutes up front. Diao can go on the right or the left for 6 months, and then once you get Isak, Ekitike can drop to the second lineup, and then your setup is Salah, Isak, Gakpo, Chiesa, Ekitike, Diao. For 6 months, I think Liverpool can manage with 5 forwards.
See, if we buy someone, it's not as bad, like you're saying. It would depend who it is. That guy does look good, I must admit. I don't even think it's a bad shout. You've recommended him. He does actually look like a good player. But again, being so young means, can he take the pressure?
Go get Dibbling, man. It's right there.
Oh.
You know what, though? Dibbling's going to be about 40+ mil as well, though. But
yeah.
He's not going to be cheap.
But he's young. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I think Liverpool go by.
Diao is better than Dibbling.
I don't think Liverpool are interested in buying a 25, 26-year-old wide player. I don't think they are. I think they want another 19, 20, 21-year-old to go in that position.
I think that's what they want ideally, Jamie. 100% that's what they want ideally. But sometimes situations change, and the way it looks at Liverpool right now, Lookman doesn't seem like the worst option in the world. If you can grab Lookman, and then you've got Salah, Ekitike, Gakpo with Lookman and Chiesa. Chiesa can play every position in that front line. Lookman can play every position in that front line. So what you have there is versatility in your depth. So if I need to take out whoever, I know I've got an option to go in.
I've got Leao.
Set up. I mean, Leao.
Yeah, you know what, Cameron? I'm not gonna lie. Big up Cameron. I'm not gonna lie. Leao's the only one now that
didn't he get injured though? Didn't he get injured?
Oh shit, did he?
I think so.
Well, like a bad injury.
And
what is the price on Lookman anyway?
No, it might be someone else I'm thinking of.
Lookman, they've been asking for 40 million euros.
Yeah, And that's not far off what Leao is either.
Leao cost you more than 40 million euros.
No, I think you can grab Leao for about 55.
I don't know. You know,
Remember
Jay,
the Italian market is totally different.
He's their only star player left, though, bro. I'd be very shocked if they let him go for that.
I swear they were marketing him around that £50 million mark.
I'm just having a look now to see.
The Italian market is very difficult to get high-end prices for, though, ain't it, at this moment in time? So
at the moment, they're saying that Lookman's value is 27, so he's not turned 28 yet, but he does turn 28 in about a month's time. So we might as well just call him 28. 60 million euros is his current market value, and he's got 2 years left on his contract.
Yeah, but thingy, Lookman handed in a transfer request 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so it goes down a little bit, doesn't it?
Oh, did he? Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Yeah. No, he's been trying to push for a move
so,
out for a while.
so he can negotiate. He was meant to go to Inter Milan. He thought that deal was going through, then it collapsed.
If we could get Lookman for 40 mil, I'd do it.
Plus, I don't want to, try and point score anymore. Lookman's homegrown.
That he is.
He is. Yeah.
I don't know what Liverpool might have to just do an emergency pivot and go to someone on their books. They might have to just look and go who's out there in the market that we can go and get. It all depends what Liverpool are thinking. It depends what Richard Hughes is thinking. If he's still thinking, right, we're not getting Isak this summer, that statement's come out. They want stupid money. It don't matter what we bid. If it ain't 150 million, they're not going to sell him. We're not bidding that. And I don't blame the club for not bidding that either. With the way everything's going, they're going to go, we'll leave it till January next summer. If he doesn't sign a new contract, he's going to have 2 years left in his contract. We'll probably get him cheaper and get him for the price that we want. Who do we pivot to in the meantime? Because we can't leave Arna short in that attacking area because we've let Diaz and Darwin go. So,
well, you know what? Rafa Leao's market value is 70 million. He plays left wing, centre forward, and second striker.
He would be the one. I think
he just turned 26.
I'd rather have Lookman than Leao at this point in time.
Nah. Because Leao would actually be future-proofing, bro. It would be like actually bringing in a winger for the future.
And dribbling skills.
Yeah, but I know who I want for the winger position, or the guys that I'd want for the winger position anyway. I'd want us to be in the conversations for Barcola. I'd want us to be in the conversations for Kenan Yildiz when he eventually decides to leave Juventus.
But Leao's better than Barcola, though, Tom.
We'll agree to disagree on that one, Drift.
I think with Leao, I've always said this with Leao, I think he has got the potential to be the best winger in the world. But Leao's issue is he doesn't put it all together.
Yeah.
For whatever reason it is, he just doesn't put it all together. But when he's on his game, he's almost unstoppable. But then he's so in and out. That's the problem with Leao.
Do you know what the crazy thing is, though? Yeah? Even though I agree with you that he's very inconsistent, do you know I went back through the last 3 seasons and do you know he's got 20 GA in every season? So even if he
more than that, he should have 50 at AC.
No, he should. But what I'm saying is, he's still a winger that's got 20 GA every season. Like that. So it's not like he's down tools or he's crap. He might not be fulfilling his potential, but he's still massively contributing every season.
What's Lookman been getting the last couple of years?
Let me have a look.
I don't think Lookman suits English football at all.
26,
I would be a little worried that he didn't do well when he
21.
was here.
Yeah,
that would worry me a little bit.
You know what, though? You know what I'll say about that? He was actually all right at Leicester. He was in a bad Leicester team, and he was all right. He got like 14, 15 GA in that Leicester team.
I think Lookman would be very Trossardish.
You can always tell that Lookman's a talent. Even when he was at Everton, I could tell he was a talented footballer.
You could do. You know what, though, Jamie? If you're looking for stopgaps, a Trossard type ain't bad. I get the whole point of Leao, but my gripe with Leao, as much as I like him as a footballer and as much as I think he can put it all together, is that just fucks up the plans for the left-hand side in terms of how I think the club will want to do it. Leao comes in and he fucks that up properly. I think Lookman, just on his versatility alone and the fact of the role he'll take. The only problem with Lookman, now that I think about it, is AFCON. AFCON kind of
Yeah,
fucks
and I
with
was going to
with
say, bro,
Lookman.
he plays literally the exact same positions as Leao. So he's not any
Now,
more.
Lookman at Leicester, I think it was Leicester, played a lot on the right.
Yeah, but maybe that was the reason why he didn't look as good as he is.
I mean,
Yeah.
I thought he was pretty decent at Leicester. But
I'm not going to lie, 27 GA last season is pretty impressive.
No, it was good last season, but
And the season
there's a
before
reason.
that, when they won the cup,
Yes, if
he
you
got
he
the
had
hat-trick in the
27. He
Europa
had
League
27
final.
again. So he's got 27 GA 2 years in a row.
his GA is very good in Italy because he has so much time and space. That
Yeah.
literally why he has a lot of time and space to do what he wants. And the way Atalanta play suits his style as well because he can stay very, very wide.
I'm not even going to lie. Even 23 GA the season before that, Lookman in Italy is
Then
actually tearing
go
it
to,
up.
yeah. Then if you look at his English record, I don't think he's anywhere near.
Yeah, but Jay, you got to look at the teams he was at in England. So he was at Everton, and he never played. He never played at Everton. He was like the guy they brought on with 10 minutes ago. Then he was at Fulham the year they got relegated under fucking Scott Parker. No one is ever doing well under Scott Parker in the Premier League. And then he was at Leicester the year they finished 13th.
Well, hang on. What's this game where he played 42 matches and scored 8 goals? Who's he
Yeah,
played
that
for?
Leicester team.
This is from 21-22 season. Who did he
That
play
was in
for
that
at
Leicester
this time?
team where they finished like 13th.
8 goals in 42 games.
Oh.
I like Lookman. I think Lookman's a super talented kid. Yeah, I just feel like the way I think Italy's just suited to him, and that's why he should stay there. In my opinion, I think that's why he tried to go to Milan. I think Italy's just suited to him to a T. The time and space he gets on the ball. I think Leao is not suited to Italian football, but he'd be more suited to Premier League football.
I just don't think Milan sell Leao at this point in the window.
No, they can't. It's too late now in the window, isn't it? Exactly.
So
This
it's
is going to be
I
the
mean,
problem.
unless they bought Lookman to replace Leao, so he stayed in Italy.
I don't think Lookman makes that move though. I think
No.
Lookman thinks he's better than AC Milan.
Yeah, maybe.
I think, although AC Milan have spent well this summer, I will say that. I don't know who we go for. I don't know who we go for. I really don't know who we go for. To be fair, I'm not worried at all.
I'm not worried. And the fact that we've done the groundwork on Rodrigo, the fact that we've done the groundwork on Barcola, and I trusted the pivot from Isak, if it comes to that, will be there. But I'm not.
But what if it's not a pivot, Tom? What if we just go into the season with 3 attackers? Well, 4 attackers.
Drift. They're not going into the season with 4 attackers. They are not going into this.
I think they will buy an attacker. I just don't know.
Tom, you do realise we never bought a replacement for Virgil when we rolled it out until January. You know that, right? And that was why we were so fucking shit until he came in.
Yes, exactly. So why would we do that again?
Because that was such a big transfer, bro. Like what Jay said, I agree. Why would we put money into something else when it's going to cost so much to get Isak? I just think all the budget is just there for Isak.
Because
Liverpool.
The difference with the Van Dijk one, so Virgil van Dijk only plays centre back. So if we buy a centre back, it's fucking moot anyway. Now we can pivot from Isak and get a winger and have the depth anyway because we can push Chiesa up front. And we can still add depth whilst not blocking any potential path for Isak should he come in, because you just buy a winger. And then once Isak comes in, Chiesa moves back to the wing. With Van Dijk, it was a case of if you bought any centre-back, you've taken the spot that Van Dijk was going to have. And
because at that time, bro, don't you remember? We were kind of short defensively anyway, so we could have.
No, we had 4 defenders.
I understand what you're saying about the centre-back thing,
because it was about the quality.
Quality's a different fucking point. At that point in time, we were
because centre-backs. Yeah,
we had Ragnar Klavan was regularly playing, mate. Quality wasn't exactly high on the list for centre-backs.
I think centre-backs are a little bit different to most positions on the pitch because usually your first choice centre-back is just your first choice centre-back. You don't really rotate centre-backs, do you? So, like with the Virgil thing, like Tom was saying, it's like there was no point going for anyone else because Virgil was their centre back, and as it plans out, the only reason he's ever been missed for Liverpool is because an Everton player tried to end his career. Otherwise, he's played every game since he's signed. With the striking option, with the attacking option, because you've got multiple positions in that attack where you can rotate and play, maybe it's a little bit different. I'm just thinking now, maybe Liverpool got someone lined up for next summer and they bring that forward, i.e. like Diaz that time when they brought him in January instead of the following summer because Tottenham was sniffing around him.
Maybe
they do that.
I still, as much as I'll laugh at him and say he's a cook for not wanting to leave Madrid. Rodrigo didn't play again today.
No, not a 0 minute. Not a 0 minute played.
They're
making it very clear they don't want him.
No, Alonso's told him I don't want him. It's
clear.
just Rodrigo who wants to stay there.
I think the option's there with them because it was all the Spanish journals were reporting that he doesn't want to go, but if he does go, Liverpool's his first choice. So I could see that being a pivot.
If Madrid say to us, look, give us 85 million, you can have Rodrigo. What's that? 100 million euros, yeah? 85 million, yeah? They go, it's 100 euros, 85 million quid for you. Gets Rodrigo, no problem. We ain't going to sit here and negotiate about it or anything like that. Because I actually think right now, Real Madrid, if someone gave Real Madrid 85 million quid or 100 million euros, they're just letting go. They won't negotiate about it.
The thing you've got to consider as well is how much is Isak going to cost in January if he does go? Because he's not.
It'll be the same. It won't be cheap.
I don't think they can ask for the same.
It's going to be harder for
because
Newcastle.
he'll still have 2.5 years left, and they'll realise the importance of the transfer.
Next summer it'll be cheaper.
It's next summer when it will have gone down. In January, bro, it will still be 130, 140.
I don't think it will. I think it'll be like 110. I think if we put in the offer that we put in earlier this window,
I think it gets
in January.
Yeah, I think it because if Isak's not playing or his performances are terrible,
they're just going to want to save face.
They're going to have to.
We couldn't do anything.
And they're going to have to take the money, otherwise they're going to look like idiots. So it could be cheap. Liverpool could play this quite well in the fact that they go, all right, keep him. We'll come back in January, but in the meantime, we're going to get Rodrigo from Real Madrid.
Because if we're saying that, I don't even think it'd be 85 for Rodrigo. I think you could do something where it's like 75 for Rodrigo. So if we're saying 75 plus 110, get you Rodrigo and Isak. A lot of money wage-wise, but football clubs are kind of happy to spend money on wages rather than in the grand scheme of things. You get both of them in for 185. We compare that to what it's looking like now, where they're going. We want 140 for Isak now. 40 mil. What can that get me in this market for a winger?
No,
it gets me looking. It gets me the lookings of this world. So it might be a case where if Liverpool pivots to Rodrigo now, and Isak comes back and reintegrates into Newcastle and isn't good, like Van Dijk wasn't very good with Southampton when he came back, but in this case, because Isak's been so fucking loud about it, the price and the situation kind of drops with Isak a little bit. Liverpool could actually end up leaving it or leaving this 6 months in a very good.
There is another attacker at Newcastle that Liverpool like as well.
No, we're not getting Anthony Gordon.
What if we don't go for Isak again?
They will do.
I think Isak's like Virgil.
He's Michael Edwards' new Van Dijk.
Yeah, he's the player that they want. By what I've been reading, by all the reports, even Newcastle reports about Isak and Liverpool, is that Liverpool just got this thing about Isak that they believe he's the best in class in that position. And if they get him and Ekitike, Liverpool believe they got the two best forwards in the world in a few years' time.
They've basically today put out a statement telling us to fuck off. And our journals, who've got direct lines to the club, have twisted that into Newcastle said they're open to a sale in the right conditions. They are desperate for Alexander Isak. And I don't think it's going to be a case of in January they go, I don't really want him now.
Well, look at the Leone's transfer, yeah? For how long this summer have we been hearing about Leone? Quite a while. Conversations kept coming out about Leone for like a lot of this summer, since the beginning of the summer. No one really took much notice of it. And then in the last couple of weeks, it got stronger and stronger. And then Liverpool literally said they believe Giovanni Leone is the best young defender in Europe. When was the last time Liverpool paid almost £30 million for an 18-year-old and not put him back out on loan and said, no, he's part of the team, we think he's ready? When Liverpool, I think, believe in a player and think he is the best in class, like they did with Virgil, they're willing to wait. And that, I know it upsets the fan base because we're like, no, we shouldn't wait. Let's get player B, C, and D in because we don't want to be short and all that. And, you know, and then, but I think that's what makes Marco Edwards and Richard Hughes so good at their job, that they don't listen to that noise and they wait for the best in class, and then they get the best in class, you know, and that's what they do. And us as fans are like, no, now we're short. What we going to do? Like, one injury, we're fucked. And they're like, no, don't worry about it, guys, because he will come. And when he comes, it's going to be worth it because we'll have the best in class. And Liverpool probably look like, in Liverpool's point of view, they'll probably feel like Ekitike and Isak are going to be the two best forwards in world football.
I mean, I think Liverpool might look at this situation now and go, this can even fast track Ekitike. Because if Isak come in now, we kind of know Ekitike is taking a more limited role. Whereas as it stands with no Isak, Ekitike starting every game, or most games, should I say.
He's only going to get better.
Who knows what that does for his developments? It might come in to like when Isak comes in January or next summer, where we're looking at it going, it's not actually very clear who's starting and who's on the bench, because Ekitike's took leaps and strides in his developments. Liverpool can leave that whole situation in a very strong position the more I think about it. And that's why I'm not panicking right in this very moment. Liverpool can get Isak for a cheaper price whilst being able to sell any big attacker now on being the final piece for the season type thing. So like Rodrigo comes in, he's that attacking bit that we need, and then Isak comes in the Jan or in the summer, and all of a sudden everything's complete.
Or Liverpool just bend. Because we know Liverpool like to get players on their demands or their price, right? Or Liverpool just bend. Like with the Gay thing right now, it looks like Liverpool going to have to spend the 40 million and agree on the 40 million deal for Gay and get their guy. Yeah, I think that will happen. With Isak, maybe they just got to bend and go, right, what's the price Newcastle want? Let's just do this now.
That's also an opportunity that they're saying that they don't believe what's the line to use? They don't believe the things that they need to hit will be hit this window.
Yeah, that tells me they're still willing to sell him in. Yeah, that tells me they're willing to sell him. Do you know what I mean? That's still, they're not saying what Newcastle's statement should have been is Alexander Isak is not for sale for any price, any money. We decide this case is closed. He's not leaving. He will be a Newcastle player at the end of the transfer window. We're not going to accept any bid from any club anywhere now. It doesn't matter. They didn't say that. They pretty much said, we just don't believe Liverpool are going to pay what we want for him, which means he's still for sale at the right price. And Liverpool might just have to bend and go, all right, fuck this. Let's just do it now and let's just get the guy in.
That's what I'm hoping, Jay, man. Just get it done now, man.
I mean, 150 million. It is, look, from a Liverpool point of view, I understand Liverpool not wanting to pay 150 million. One, it'd be like the third highest transfer of all time, I believe. And when a player is not wanting to play for a football club and he's putting out statements and divorce letters and all this stuff,
the negotiating position.
It should weaken. It should weaken the negotiating and not strengthen it. But it looks like because Newcastle's hard stance at it, Liverpool might just have to bend and pay the money. So I can see Liverpool's point of view on all this. I don't think Liverpool Football Club have done anything wrong personally. I think they put in a very good bid for Isak the first time round, and Newcastle have been stubborn on it. I think this works against Newcastle
reacted, though. I don't think we done anything. I don't think we pushed Isak to make that statement today.
No, Isak's just done it on his own, isn't he?
No, he's getting frustrated.
Probably sitting there going, "You fucking bastard! You shouldn't have done that."
I'm going to tell you straight right now. I think Isak does a sit-down interview with somebody.
Oh, he's going to sit down with Piers fucking Morgan.
But I don't like all of that, you know, Jay, because that's like bad character.
I think he's going to do it. I read today as well that Isak's 3 years on Isak's deal is only 18.7 million. So Isak, I think there's a rule. Tom might know more than me.
Oh,
I think there's a rule. I think there's a rule.
We're not doing this
Tom,
Article 17.
is there a rule in the? I believe there's a rule in the FIFA handbook, like a paragraph in the FIFA handbook, where a player can buy out his own contract.
No. It's the biggest misconception going right. That is a rule.
It is a rule, ain't it? Yeah.
But it is only applicable in the 2 weeks after the final game of the season.
Oh, is that when it's applicable?
Mm-hmm. So I've seen people go, after we play them on the 29th of August, he can terminate his contract. No, he can't. And even then, what this ruling has is a player can terminate his contract. If he does, he opens himself up to fines, bans, and a tribunal case against his name. The bans can range anywhere from 4 months to 2 years, because it's all then about evidence. Because you've got to, I think one of the things is you've got to prove that it was a justifiable contract buyout.
Yeah, it's weird, don't it? It's a weird thing. Yeah, look, Vindy said that. I said it already. If you see Richard Hughes at St James's Park on Monday, you know shit's about to go down after the game. Because why would the sporting director be there on an away game? If Richard Hughes is seen in the crowd on Monday, or you hear he's there at the game, because I personally think Liverpool go sit down with Newcastle after the game Monday and try to sort this out.
Oh, there'll definitely be conversations about it on Monday.
Yeah. I think Monday there's going to be. It wouldn't be surprised on Tuesday that Liverpool put a bid in.
I definitely think there's one more offer.
I think Liverpool go one more offer, because they're going to be like. I think Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes will be sitting there right now and think, right, we've only put one offer in, they rejected it. Let's put one more offer in. If they tell us no again, we move to plan B and go somewhere else.
Yeah, I think the plan at this point in the window is this week will be sorting out the Gahey transfer, hashing out all the details of that, getting that boxed off. And then next week, early parts of next week, after we play Newcastle, the second bid goes in. We get our answer on that. If it's accepted, we just move on. Sort it all out, put it behind us. If not, pivot to Rodrigo. That's the way I think it'll go.
I mean,
and then Liverpool sit there and wait for Isak, whether that's in the January or in the summer afterwards. But I do think that within 12 months, Alexander Isak will be holding up a Liverpool shirt. We don't give up on it that easy.
What?
And I also the idea that we should be worried about other teams next summer, I just don't see it personally. Liverpool they've done the due diligence to convince them right now. We're not just going to not talk to them for another 12 months. We'll be doing everything we can to keep on top and keep them convinced.
Yeah.
What clubs are really going to challenge us? That's the other thing.
The only club I can see Isak turning Liverpool down for is Real Madrid right now, and that's it.
But
Barcelona.
Real Madrid have Mbappe, so they're not buying a striker.
The only one I'd worry me next summer is Barcelona.
Barca can't even fucking register Rashford.
Apparently from next season they can register. They got apparently.
I'm telling you this for years, Jamie.
I'm telling you, I don't trust Spanish football, that league. Barcelona shouldn't be able to buy a single player at all. But I can guarantee you now they will find 200 million to buy Isak, and they'll somehow register him.
I still think all the groundwork we've done will be enough at that point, though. Plus, I mean, again, we say all this about the registration thing. They've just had to basically put a gun to Marc-Andre ter Stegen's head, take the captaincy off him, and force him to tell the Spanish league that he's injured, so they can have his wages put back into their book, so they can register another player. That's how bad it is.
I think it's Liverpool and nothing for that. The problem with Newcastle got I actually think this looks worse for Newcastle keeping him than selling him, because if you're a big player now and you're looking at this situation, are they going to trust Newcastle to go there and do right by them as a player? Because players talk to players. Yeah, I got to say, I can only say what Isak said today is truthful, because why would he lie? Isak has basically come out today and said promises were not given to me that were meant to be promised. And they've gone back on their word.
Newcastle never denied his statement was incorrect.
No.
That's the thing that I think's been lost in this.
Yeah.
All Newcastle said was he was never promised he was going to be allowed to leave. Isak never said that was the promise.
No,
Isak
I
just said
think he was meant to get a big contract for what
he
is.
was promised a contract from the woman that used to run Newcastle, Amanda
Stavely, yeah.
And then she got kicked out the club, and they brought someone else in, and then he
So-
basically went, "Fuck off,
so-
not getting a contract."
So is a big. So is any other big player go there? Think they're going to be looked after by Newcastle? Right now.
Or the Newcastle will never be able to sign a player without a release clause at a relatively low fee.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it'd actually be better for him to sell him. The man.
Yeah. Just
the
negative press in general. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's be honest. Newcastle all summer have not looked good from their own movements, but Isak mainly. It's just been all negativity. If they'd have just let Isak go a month ago, they could have started to pick up the positivity and it could have started to have a feel-good factor. But they've just dragged it out. Everything's negative around the club. Like you said, Jay, players are looking and going, fuck that. Like, that's how they're treating Isak. I don't really like... Do you know what I mean? And then the level they can get will only be the whistles of this world who are never going to take them to the level they want to be at.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
And you got Bruno Guimaraes today on Instagram standing there in his Newcastle kit trying to look proud and all that, having a go at Isak basically. Good luck, Bruno, getting a new deal. Because I can guarantee you right now when Bruno sits down in Newcastle and goes, I want 220 grand a week to stay at Newcastle, and they go, we can't go that high.
Yeah.
What do you reckon Bruno's going to do?
This is the
Go
thing.
want to leave, ain't he? He's going to want to leave. So Bruno's sitting there right now being this, thinking he's all it because he's the captain. He's also their highest earner at 160 grand a week. That's their ceiling. That's Newcastle's ceiling. Isak is arguably top 3 best strikers in world football, top 4, whatever you want to call him, and he's on 120 grand a week. And all he wanted was a wage at least of 200 grand a week to show how, because he knows he's one of the best around in his position. Give me what I'm at least worth. Give me 200 grand a week, and they can't even give him that. Now to keep Isak, Newcastle could go back to Isak tomorrow and go, right, do you want that 200 grand a week now? And he's going to go, no. Oh, what, 400 grand a week? You got to give me 400 grand a week now. 400 grand a week in release clause. And they go, we can't do that. And then they go, well, if you can't do that, sell me then. Because I don't want to be here.
I just think they've jumped, that they thought they were further along than they were, which happens. That they're riding the high of getting Champions League football again, but ultimately they thought they were a step further along than they actually are, and now they might end up being 2 steps backwards. It is what it is. You live and you learn when you're starting your project like this, and I understand that they are starting further back than what the clubs like Liverpool did when they were doing the same thing because of the commercial revenue that we've always had. But I just can't help but feel at the Isak situation and the way it's every step of the way it's not went well. Like even now, Newcastle have just put out a statement which for all intents and purposes is supposed to deter people from making a move for him, and all anyone that's sitting there going is, so they've not said he's not for sale.
No, they haven't. They basically said that they believe Liverpool can't match the price they put on his head.
What they've said is they believe that Liverpool won't pay the money, and they also believe they can't get enough strikers in.
Yeah.
Well, that part is true.
But everything changes, Drift, once the money's on the table. If we turn up on Monday and we go, listen, let's just put all this behind us. Here is 130 million. All of a sudden they sit there and go, what do we need 2 strikers? Can we get away with 1 striker? They'll start worrying about what Isak.
And we're going to give them guaranteed money as well. We're going to give them guaranteed money.
We'll do as much of it up front. But the worry for them is how vehement he is that he won't reintegrate. Because what do they do? And what is their power if come September 2nd, Alexander Isak just goes, I'm injured?
Yeah. What are they going to do? They can't fine him every week. Cool, he's a multi-millionaire.
They're just going to fine him the
Does it matter?
wages they pay him. So the man who's got sponsorship deals and bonuses that he'll be getting even when he's not playing will just not be getting his weekly wage.
He won't care. I'm a
I'm
multi-millionaire.
sure
Follow me.
he will be
What are you
really
gonna do?
Yeah.
arsed.
And there's
I
only a
mean-
man you can find as well.
Now, do I think he goes that mad? Probably not. But that is something that I can't rule out, and especially if he's got a promise. Because let's be honest, we're not stupid. If we can't get him this summer, Hughes or Edwards will be on the phone and go, "Just stay calm. We'll sort something out soon." They'll be next to me.
I can guarantee you right now, Richard Hughes is talking to his ex-agent tonight.
Oh, 100%.
They're telling him,
100%.
chill out, don't worry about it. We've seen the statement.
Yeah.
It's all cool.
Do you know what, Serbo? Let me just get this super chat because I'll big
Yeah,
up Eastwood, man. Big up yourself as always, bro. Says the US appreciate the late night shift drift, sponsored by Henny. Big up yourself, Eastwood. I haven't even had a drink today. That's how like busy I've been. I wish I had, because then maybe this news wouldn't have bothered me as much. So let's pivot just quickly then, boys, before we wrap up then. We did this with Coutinho, and then in the end, we still let him go. But it was January.
Mm-hmm. Record fee.
I'm looking at this now and I'm thinking, if I hear January, I'm going to lose it, because I think that the 4 or 5 months until the end of until January. Because remember, when Mo goes to AFCON in December, that would also mean if we've only got 4 forwards, then do you know what I mean? Let's say Chiesa is like covering up front, but then he's got to cover the right wing when Salah goes to AFCON.
No,
So
we've got guys who can cover. If
Yeah,
I think we've got guys that we
Frimpong.
can cover.
I think Frimpong plays right wing. Salah's away anyway.
When does AFCON even start? 25th. It's fucking 10 days.
Yeah.
It's 10. I don't even know how many games you play in that time. But from the 23rd to the 1st, because if we're doing Isak,
probably 2 games.
Organized for the 1st.
Yeah, but it'd be 2 games. Yeah, it'd be 2 games.
But do you get where I'm coming from in terms of like, I know people will say, well, as long as we get him, that's fine. But I'm looking at the situation of like, we guarantee 3 points against Newcastle and Arsenal if he's just already a Liverpool player. But now you never know. And this is all part of important points for a title race. Like, why didn't we just get this fucking done? Like, it's actually annoying me. It's dragging. Do you know what I mean?
I think
the first 6 games are difficult games as well. So, like, by the time he's not even up to speed. Like, do you even want to play guys that don't play until January? That's a very important amount of non-playing time. You know?
I'm honestly cool with it.
He's fucking with his momentum, his form. I don't know, man.
I can't blame Liverpool with any of this. They gave him a British record fee and they turned it down. The fact is, if Newcastle took the British record fee, they probably would have got Benjamin Sesko, because they would have outbid Man United so much that they couldn't have touched it. So Newcastle, it's Newcastle's problem. You know, Liverpool offered them a fee that's never been seen in British football history for Alexander Isak. I don't know how much more Liverpool can do in that. And if Liverpool do get him for 130 million, it's just 10 million more than we originally offered. So why did they reject the first bid? It's just balmy to me. I don't
10
get
mil's
Newcastle.
a lot when you're broke, though. Newcastle were broke, remember? So
130 million is a lot of money.
I think we should just pay 140 and get it done tomorrow, man.
No, because then that's just stupid.
It makes you look weak.
Here now, man.
It makes you look weak. It makes you look weak.
At this point, it makes no difference whether he arrives now or deadline day. He wouldn't play these next 2 games anyway.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter. It also,
he could come off the bench against Arsenal. If we signed him tomorrow, he could come off the bench against Arsenal.
Just it's 10 minutes against Arsenal where he'd be so off the pace that it wouldn't really matter anyway. And even then, there's a good chance that he wouldn't be used anyway. For us, I think what happens if he comes in is you do not see Alexander Isak until after the international break, and he doesn't go on the international break. He stays in Liverpool and puts himself through a 2-week boot camp of sorts to get himself up to speed with what he's lacked. And then you start seeing him. I don't think you'd see him against Newcastle, and you definitely wouldn't see him against Arsenal. I just think it's too soon.
I just think if the problem is if Liverpool just bend If Liverpool just to bend to demands of Newcastle and pay the 140, 150, it's going to make them weaker in future negotiations against other teams as well. So
not necessarily though, guys, because like when you think about it, this could just be like a one-off in terms of like everybody knows we're the beneficiaries. Like I don't really think we look bad even if we pay more because we end up with arguably the best striker in the world.
I mean,
So I don't think anybody's ever going to look at it and go, "Oh, look how weak Liverpool are. They ended up paying 140." It'll be like, "Oh no, shit! They just did what it took to get the best striker in the world."
I mean,
I don't think it looks
what
bad
it
if we
looked like
paid
to- We've ended up in a bidding war with ourselves and paid 30 million quid over what we wanted to. That's what it would look like.
Yeah, but it's because the
no one
player's
else.
got 3 years left on his deal, bro.
look, I'm perfectly happy with the squad. I don't believe in, these big squads and stuff like that. I honestly don't. I rather have quantity. I'd rather have quality over quantity every day of the week. If Liverpool go to January, I think it would be absolutely fine. I think a lot of Liverpool fans just live in this "but if" scenario that we're going to get 18 injuries.
That COVID year done so much damage to the mentality.
Yeah, like, I've watched football. I'm not in my 40s. I've watched football for a long time. Yeah, I've never seen Liverpool lose 3 or 4 centre backs in one season in my life, and I just think it's one of them things where
it can happen. Though it happened to Arsenal. If we're going to be honest, they lost Havertz and Saka at the same time.
Yeah, but will that ever happen again to Arsenal?
No, but again,
but what I mean is, if we've only got 4 forwards, it would be like if one of them get injured, you're already down to the bare bones. Do you get what I mean?
They lost Kai Havertz in February, and they lost Saka in January. They made
no. It was January they lost Havertz, wasn't it?
It was either very late January.
It was when they went to Dubai, wasn't it?
Because the window was still open, and that's why Arsenal fans are so angry they didn't buy a replacement.
When they went, the thing is, like, Arsenal never had any injuries for like 4 years before that, did they? So, and they might not have any injuries coming up this season.
Yeah, no, that's true.
It's just one of them. Havertz got injured in February.
It's when they were in Dubai, wasn't it? It's when they went to Dubai.
Yeah. So it's just in the entirety of January, they had the chance to buy a forward, and they didn't. That's where it's different. In our case, where every one of us here is going, if he's available, Liverpool will buy him in January.
It is a gamble, by the way. I'm not saying it's not a gamble. It's a gamble from Liverpool.
It's a huge gamble.
There's no doubt about it. But if the gamble pays off and you still get Isak, then it's not too much to worry about. Obviously, if it doesn't, you don't get Isak, then there's things to worry about. It's just very hard to worry about the future. Personally, me, I would just rather live in the present right now and what we are doing in the present, because I can't predict what happens in the future. Like anything could happen. Like Ekitike could go on till January and actually be better in Isak, and we don't need Isak in the end. We pivot somewhere.
Still buy him though.
Do you know what I mean? But do you know what I mean? That's what could happen. Do you know, like everyone's saying, could it be about injuries? Ekitike could absolutely blow up and be on like 15 goals by January.
That's true.
I mean?
That's
so,
true.
And then Liverpool might go look at it and go, hang on, how can we drop him now?
How does the saying go again? If you fail to prepare, then prepare to fail. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I think you've always got to think worst case scenario so that you're always just happy when it doesn't happen.
You can't.
If you don't think it can happen, that's when you end up in trouble.
I honestly, I'm not saying you about this, Drift, when I say this, because I know you don't. But I think there is other Liverpool fans who want this season to be a failure. I honestly do. I've seen Liverpool fans on Twitter
what would the "I told you so" moment be?
Yeah, they want it. They want that "I told you so" moment, that we fail. I've seen it on Twitter. There's people on Twitter right now saying FSG are tight asses and not really spent anything this summer. You know, our transfer window's not really that good. We're always going to leave ourselves short. Every team in world football leaves themselves short in positions. It's a fact. There's no such thing as a perfect team. It's never been a perfect team ever.
Yeah,
right?
No, I agree with that. Yeah.
Even Pep's great Barcelona team used a midfielder as a centre-back, right? It's just, there's no perfect squad ever. Everyone leaves themselves short in opinions. But I've seen it on social media. There is Liverpool fans out there who want that "told you so" moment because they live for it, right? They just live for it. That's why I bookmarked so
mean-
much shit. Do you know how many bookmarks I got on my Twitter? I've got shitloads of Twitter bookmarks because when it comes to at the end of the season, we won everything. I'm just going to reply to everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that. I've got one more question for you both before we go. Let me just hit these 2 super chats. Big up Frenchie, who says we should never fund Chelsea or any other top 6 rival. I agree with in terms of like getting Jackson. I kind of agree. Like I don't want to be helping Chelsea.
Have we ever done that?
Only Arsenal with Oxlade-Chamberlain for 35 mil. That's
Yeah,
the only
but we didn't actually help them. We just got better.
But
They got worse.
And
Yeah,
Eastwood, my brother, big up
Yeah,
your
big up
damn
Eastwood.
self, brother.
Big
Big
up
up,
Eastwood.
man. Big up, bro. Appreciate this, man. As always.
Superstar, man.
Here's to
Superstar.
your. It says here's to my alcohol drink, bro, and cheers to bringing the channel back, my G. Now, big up yourself, Eastwood, man. I appreciate that, my bro. And I'm back. I'm gonna start putting some. What do they call it? Self-care, whatever. When you start doing, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna start.
I self-cared earlier, so stop it.
fuck's sake.
Oh man, it's like 3 a.m. I can say that.
But no, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back, boys. I'm gonna be back. But yeah, all right, quick question for you boys before we do leave, because obviously we are approaching 3 a.m. Can we solve this issue with a loan? And who would that be if you was gonna loan that player? Jay, I'll start with you.
Alone.
Until January. The scenario is we're not gonna get Isak till January, so we get a loan to not financially cripple ourselves. Is that viable, and who would it be?
Jay, do you know anyone in the loan market right now?
No, I don't. I don't think Liverpool like doing loans either, to be fair.
So would you go along the lines of no, we're just going short rather than actually getting a loan player?
You know what? I'd take the gamble and go short. I know people go hate it, but I don't know. I think Tom might not be close to saying that. I think he wants another wide player in, but I would.
No, I'm with you, Jay. If I
I'd gamble, man. I'd gamble and wait till January and test the waters. Yeah, the loan market. Like, and also, is a loan player going to come in and really give it their all?
Like, I'm just looking at players who went on loan, like fucking Raheem Sterling was on the loan market. If that's like the benchmark for what I'm getting on loan, I would sooner just give the minutes to Rio and Dams.
Yeah, same. I think it's Slotwood as well, to be fair. I think right now, if we can't get Isak this summer, I am taking the gamble and then doing it in January, because I think by the time we get to January and Isak's not playing or barely doing anything, we get him a lot easier in January. So I'll take the gamble.
There are a select group of players that I would pivot to of varying degrees. If not, I'd ride it out. But I'm not one who's going to sit there and go, right, we can't get Isak. Let's just get the first Tom, Dick, or Harry we can grab.
So if we paid a very good loan fee, you don't think there's a player out there that would be like? Let's just use it might seem extreme, but let's say Rodrigo.
The last player we got on loan was Arthur fucking Mello.
No, but I mean a different regime as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, what if we said, all right, look, while Real Madrid figure out what they are going to do with you, let's give them 10 mil or something like that for the loan fee. Then Rodrigo doesn't have to think, oh, this is permanent and all panic because he wants to suck off Real Madrid so bad. Come on loan, prove that you're a good player, go to the World Cup, and then after the World Cup, go back to Real Madrid and then see what's going on. But you really want to not play in a World Cup with Rodrigo? No. So, like, what if we tried to do something like that? Even if we paid like 15 mil for the season for loan, for a player of his quality, would it not be worth it?
You know what, though? I don't like loans.
I'd just buy Rodrigo if that was the case.
Yeah, because if
he doesn't want to leave, guys.
I don't know. I think he would leave if it was Liverpool coming in for him.
Yeah, I think Jamie's right. It's also
I think he's waiting for an elite club to come in for him.
Liverpool are almost too big for loans for certain types of players. I don't want to be the dickheads who finally get Rodrigo over this hump in his career and then get exactly none of the fucking benefits of it. If I'm the guy that's going to play Rodrigo on the left, I want him to stay on the left at my club, not go back to Madrid and then it's like, oh, look how good. No,
but what I mean, do we really care about that when Isak's a Liverpool player in January? Like, would we really care? Like,
kind of, yeah.
Nah, if
Like
he
Rodrigo.
balled out for a season, we won the league, and then he went back to Madrid, but now we've got Isak. I don't think it would bother me
No,
at
because
all.
then I'd need the left winger anyway. Because
Yeah,
he would have been that good that
I-
he's kind of.
I think Rodrigo. If it's weird the fact that Rodrigo is not playing for Real Madrid. The thing with Real Madrid, they're very good. Real Madrid, have you noticed when you buy a player from Real Madrid, they don't really negotiate.
You shouldn't buy
just
players
get him.
from Real Madrid.
Yeah, because it usually tells you a sign they don't want to, they're not good enough. But when Real Madrid sell players, they usually let them go. The first bid usually gets accepted. And they're just like, yeah, go on, off you go. They don't usually argue about it. So Liverpool come in with a good enough offer for Rodrigo. I actually think Rodrigo look at it and go, this is one of the elite level clubs that I would leave Madrid for. I'm not going to go to that club or that. If a Liverpool come in for me, a PSG come in for me, something like that right now, I'll go. If done in that level of club is coming in for me, I'm going to just sit on the bench at Madrid because I would drop down another level. So
You could be right.
I think that's a possibility where, if Liverpool do pivot and go, right, let's go and get Rodrigo. No, the biggest pivot Liverpool could do, and if they could pull it off, it'd be amazing. Just go to Atletico Madrid and buy Alvarez, man.
Yeah, but that completely
that's what I want more
anything.
than anything. But
he was my number one choice
That
anyway.
Completely stops an Isak move on at that point.
Yeah, that's when you just learn that this exact thing's never going to happen. It all depends in the meeting. If Newcastle tell them, look, we're just sick of you now anyway, we don't want to do business with you anymore, it's not going to happen. I think that's the only time when Liverpool decide to pivot and go look at another striker.
Genuine question. If Isak just took a shit on Eddie Howe's desk in the Newcastle trading ground, do you think that pushes to a move?
I'll tell you right now, I bet if you spoke to Eddie Howe wants Isak gone.
I think he does. I think he just wants the whole thing behind him, and I think Eddie Howe knows. I think those in Newcastle, especially those who actually have a bit of football knowledge about them, know that this Isak thing, even if he brought back into the squad every single game, there'll be 2 or 3 questions about it.
Eddie Howe don't want to play him.
He won't escape it. And I think we'll keep adding fuel to that fire.
It might come down to that, It literally might come down to that, where Eddie Howe just goes to the owners like, just look, I know you don't want to let him go and you're standing the ground, I get it, but I'm the manager here and it's affecting my team. The players are affected, I'm affected. It's just not helping the spirit of the club at the moment. I think there'll be a big lift at the club. I just want him gone.
Yeah,
I'm not going to pick him. I'm not going to play him. There's no point.
Plus Eddie, imagine being Eddie Howe, because as soon as Newcastle don't do well, he's the one getting sacked. So right now, he must be sitting there thinking, where are my strikers? What he's got, I don't really care about all the pride. You're supposed to, as the owners, make sure I am fully ready for the season, and I'm not. What are you playing?
The bad look it'd be if Newcastle sacked Eddie Howe this season.
Well, if he doesn't get Champions League, they might, Jay.
Yeah, but is it Eddie Howe's fault?
Mm-hmm.
It won't be, but they won't take the blame, will they? The owners
I think the owners will be. I think even Newcastle fans will go to the owners. No. None of this is on Eddie Howe. You should have just sold Isak. That's what they will say if they sack him, because Newcastle fans love Eddie Howe, and if they sacked him this season because he's not getting performances because of this whole situation, because they're keeping a player that don't want to be there and it's ruining the spirit of the club, and they sack Eddie Howe because of it, they're fucked. They're absolutely fucked. Eddie Howe, I guarantee you right now, wants Alexander Isak sold. He wants to move on. He probably doesn't care if he hasn't got strikers in. He'll work it out somehow. He probably just wants him gone.
I think Eddie Howe's the one who said, if you just get me one striker, it's fine.
Yeah, we'll work with it. We'll play Anthony Gordon up.
If you just give me this, I can make it work.
Yeah.
What about Wissa and this whole what is actually going on with that?
I think that something that you can't rule out is they move away from this and go get Watkins.
So if Jackson goes to Villa, I think Watkins leaves.
I think Villa have been trying to get rid of Watkins for over a year now.
But I think Jackson will go to Villa. I've just read something just now where it looks like Jackson to Villa could be quite close.
Because
Oh, Jackson's going Villa.
It could
Yeah,
be quite
Unai-
close, apparently.
Unai
I'm just
Emery
reading it now.
Villarreal.
Yeah, I'm just reading something about it right now, actually. So it looks like Jackson could go to Villa. And if Jackson goes to Villa, that means Watkins will leave.
Yeah, surely it would. Yeah.
Because Villa have got Wesson as well this summer.
So why are they going for Jackson? Purely because he's just younger? Because Watkins is a better striker.
Unai had Jackson at Villarreal, and
Yeah,
he likes how Jackson plays.
Jackson actually played well for Emery at Villarreal.
Mm-hmm.
Weren't Jackson playing against us in the Champions League semi?
He was on the bench.
He was on the bench, wasn't
But Unai likes the strikers that do all the work. They work hard. They press. They close round. All that stuff. If you remember, fucking Watkins, when Emery came in, he was like a 13 goal a season striker.
Yeah.
That's what Jackson is. Whether we
Yeah.
like it or not, that is what Jackson is. He's not a 20 goal, but he's a 12, 13, 14 goal season striker. Emery.
No, you know what? You're actually right. You know, I'm not going to lie.
25.
That is actually Jackson. Like Newcastle, Villa, Everton, Tottenham. That is actually Jackson's level. You're right.
I think Jackson scores more goals at Villa than Watkins would this year. Because Watkins is also, he's 30 now as well. I just think he needs I think Watkins is looking for one big last move. And I think Newcastle, I think he would take it because it's Champions League football. He's at 30 now. He'll probably see that as a good move.
I think he'd do really well at Newcastle. I think that would be a good move, Watkins to Newcastle.
It could end up with Watkins and Whistler at this rate.
I'll be honest with you. As world class as Isak is, if you go from Isak and Callum Wilson to Whistler and Ollie Watkins, you've improved your strike force. Newcastle would actually be going into the season with more firepower than they did last year.
You want to
It'd be
know one
better for
that
them.
I'm surprised I haven't seen anything about all summer? I am shocked Newcastle at no point have been linked with Ivan Toney.
Yeah, that is a little. Considering Piff owns both
I
the club,
thought they would definitely get at some point.
That's a good point.
I saw Ivan Toney score I saw a video of Ivan Toney scoring a penalty the other day, right? I don't know if it was new footage or old footage or wherever it was. But the goal he scored against was there was no stand there. It was just a field behind the goal.
Oh, bloody hell.
It was just a field, literally just a big field behind the goal with no stand. And I'm like, man, so you're telling me you can't go and get Ivan Toney?
Well, considering they own the same club, Jay. Like, if Piff owned both the clubs, I don't know if there's some rule, but like, can't they just sell themselves the player? Like, I mean, unless he doesn't want to leave, because I'm not gonna lie, he's on 400 grand a week. He might not want to leave.
Can we leave this video on a funny note? Just
go.
calm everyone down a bit. That Trossard signed a new contract.
You got the best part. It's not even an extension. They just
it's not an extension. They gave him more money. There's never been heard of. They gave a 30-year-old. They gave a 30-year-old who's not a first-team player more money.
Oh no! All right. Do you know the only reason I'm not gonna laugh? Because if they do sell Martinelli and then buy a left winger, Trossard's actually a great backup.
They're not buying a left winger.
But they're not buying one. They've apparently done their business.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. Martinelli's not going anywhere. They just gave him a pay bump. So how do you sell Trossard next year when he's 31, when he's got even more money?
Oh no, he's at Arsenal for life now.
I think Arsenal. Do you know what? This might sound mad. I actually think Arsenal got weaker this year. They're not stronger.
Do you understand how funny it is that they basically sat there and went, look, you're shit. We'd sell you, but do you know what? We want to reward you and put you in line with some of the higher earners at the football club.
It's mad. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
Do you know the reason Arsenal can't sell players? Because all their players are on too much wages. No one wants them.
Mm-hmm. Jay, I would say because they're shit players, but I also agree with you on the wages.
So Zinchenko want Zinchenko out of the club, yeah. They bought Zinchenko from City. City had him on 25 grand a week, yeah. They put him on something. They put him 150 grand a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And they
I
wonder
mean,
why
to
they
be
can't get
fair,
rid of him.
it was a crime he was actually on 25 grand a week.
Yeah,
though.
but that also shows that Man City don't pay the wages that everyone thinks they do as well, by the way. But that 150, man, is just mad. 150. And they wonder why they can't sell players, man. They wonder why they can't sell players.
I don't know.
But even like you look at like the big names, so like Aubameyang, they had Aubameyang, they had Özil, they had Lacazette. These are guys who spent fucking 50, 60, 70 million quid on. All of them left for free.
Yeah, because they couldn't sell them. So
they're a shit selling club. They don't even make money off the bonds.
Guys, let's have a quick look before we go at what people are saying.
This is a lit up.
Give Liverpool the title already. Love Trossard, great sub, good player, reliable. Is it the end of our activity in the transfer market, or are we saving money for a left winger?
No.
Low risk. We know what we are getting. He's the best as an impact sub. No complaint here.
It's terrible.
Fuck off, just straight up. Such a backwards team. How do we take 5 steps forward and 100 steps back? It makes no sense. Using Trossard in big 2025 for crying out loud. This is a player we should move on from. He has played his part. He was good. We should be looking to upgrade. The Hello Darkness, my friend music actually would. I know some Arsenal fans that must be living.
Oh my God, Trossard's got up to 140 grand a week.
Fuck.
Apparently he was on 90 grand a week when they first bought him.
Crazy.
Oh,
I'm happy for him. It don't even look like the fan base are that bothered. Most people seem like they're all right with it.
It's just weird. To not give him an extension, just give him a pay rise. What's he done to get a pay rise?
So hold on, when's his contract run out?
2 years' time.
And they didn't extend it. They just
gave him a pay rise. How they go sell a 31-year-old next season is on big wages?
I didn't even realize Tom had dropped that.
So like, how are Arsenal ever go buy a left winger if the 2 players you got for left winger are on big wages and you keep giving them more money?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Who's buying Trossard at 31 on 140 grand a week?
No one. He'll leave Arsenal at the end of that contract and have to just like be happy with whatever he gets.
I don't even know what mine is.
He's an Arsenal player for the next 2 years. Facts. He's not nobody is buying him and paying him that much.
It's just,
and at his age, he won't take a pay cut. At 30, you're trying to get as much money as you can before you can't play well anymore.
Oh, and by the way, I know I went there for the watch on for the Arsenal game, but I've watched the Arsenal game back, man. Scummy.
It was.
By the way, that was a penalty as well, and I don't like Man United, obviously, but that was a penalty.
Oh, it's 100%. I can't believe there's even Arsenal fans out there trying to debate whether it was a penalty.
Part of me surprised the goal weren't disallowed either.
Yeah, I don't think the goal should have stood either. But
pulled his arm down.
I think there's an agenda to help Arsenal. I don't think the league want to see Liverpool or Man City win it again, even though Man City, you know, we know they might put the brown envelopes out there. I can already see they're going to try and push this agenda. Look how nicely they speak about Arteta in the press, Jay. He's never won anything in all of this money spent, which will be close to $1 billion. And all it is just positive press. Positive press. If a Liverpool manager been in a job for 7 years and never won anything and spent £1 billion, can you imagine how much they'd be dragging him?
Drift. Also, after the weekend, have you seen the abuse Liverpool have got off pundits offline for winning 4-2?
Yeah, because we let in the 2 goals.
But everyone's praising Arsenal's 1-0 defensive win. That was scammy. I'm telling you right now, I'd rather play Liverpool's way than Arsenal's way.
Yeah. It's going to make the heart flutter a lot, but
I'd rather play that way. Like, I'm not being funny here. They're not creative.
No, they're not.
Who creates for Arsenal?
Do you know why? Because
you're going to be bang on about Gyökeres, man.
He's clumsy as fuck, bro. I told everyone.
Drift. He looks like he weighs 20 stone when he runs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He looks slow and clunky, and
Bro,
he looks.
he's a very clumsy player. People didn't want to listen, man.
They think he's Haaland. They think he may have 2 touches a game, get a hat trick.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, Haaland can be clumsy, but he's proven in it. So there's no like, he's inevitable when it comes to goals. But yeah, man, I told you, bro.
He just don't look, and he had more
I'm
hair.
gonna say it right here, right now, bro. Do you know who's gonna end up being their best signing this summer? Mudweke.
It might be, you know.
His versatility and
I
bet he scores some clutch goals, and you know what I mean. He's gonna end up being the one at the end of the season. Could you remember that summer when they did whatever they did? But then in January they bought Trossard, and at the end of the season, it was like, I think Trossard was our best signing last season. Yeah. That's gonna be what Mudweke is gonna be. Everyone's thinking Zubimendi, Gokares. I bet you any money Mudweke ends up being the most valuable transfer.
And they slagged him off all summer.
They did a petition to cancel the transfer, bro. So it's gonna be interesting.
Have you heard them as well when they've seen Ekatike? They're like, oh, shit.
Yeah, well,
how much better does Ekatike look on the ball?
But Ekatike and Gokares as a player isn't even a conversation. Who will score more goals? Obviously, that's a totally different conversation. But as a player, like just talent-wise, bro, it's not even a conversation.
You can see it in Ekatike, can't you? You can just see it.
Bro, and I said it at the time and everyone went wild. I'm not saying this because I think he's as good as or will ever be as good as. I'm just saying he gives me Thierry vibes. That's all I'm saying.
Well, his goal he scored the other day is very Suarez-like as well.
Oh, and because he just bundled his way through.
Yeah. Suarez always went for the nutmeg, and it never happened. But he always rebounded, but he got the ball.
Yeah. It was very Suarez. It was.
And the way he moves, he glides across the pitch.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. He gives me Thierry vibes. I don't think anybody's ever going to be as good as Thierry again. But he gives me Thierry vibes.
He's got like the height, the build, the way he moves and runs,
the running power. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and I'll be honest, he even runs a little bit similar. Like, I just get Thierry vibes. And you know what? Even if we get half of Thierry, even if we get half of Henry, it'll be world class. So do we? You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't need to be a full. Thierry.
I love the guy. That's why I said. I said to Cal when we were buying him, trust me, he's a baller. Watch.
Yeah, he is a baller.
He's gonna be good, man.
I tell you, the only thing about him that I'm worried about, Jay, is that I think he's going to have a lot of Nunes moments. And that's going to be when I'm going to see if the crowd keep the same energy. Because he is very 50-50 in front of goal. As a player, there's no doubt how good he is. But in front of goal, he is 50-50.
That's why you want Isak, ain't it? That's why you want Isak.
Yeah. I mean, think about it, bro. Ekatike's missed 3 headers in 2 games. He should have scored.
I will say one thing. He's not great in the air. I will say that.
But he looks terrible in the air.
You know how weird it is how many tall players are not actually that good in the air sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
And the shorter players are. His link-up play, man, is just a different level at this moment in time. And the speed he plays with link-up play as well. That back heel he did the other day when it got in behind everyone and everyone was through. It's just like, he's just... he reminds me of Thierry Henry, man. I also what I like about Ekatike, he's got a nice little rapport already with Wirtz. They got quite a good connection on the pitch.
Yeah. Do you know what? I love the fact that he's making maximum effort to like gel speaking. Like you can tell that like his English is good, but it's not great. But he's like, I'll put myself under the pressure and I'll still do the interviews because I want to adhere myself to the fans. Because you can see his brain trying to figure out exactly what the question is because it's like his English isn't great. But it is, if you get what I mean, because he's answering the questions. And I'm like, I'm impressed. He's never been to England or anything. And he's at 22, he's already this good at English. So I'm like, no, I'm actually really impressed, even with like the press he's doing, whatever. You know what I mean? So,
have you heard Giovanni Leone? His English is excellent as well.
Oh, no, I haven't. Can he speak English? I haven't seen him.
Absolutely.
No.
His English is excellent.
Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, I didn't. I haven't seen him speak.
I think these younger guys learn English very early.
Yeah, maybe the school systems have changed a lot
Yeah,
since
they
we was at
learn
school.
English
Maybe it's
very
like
early.
mandatory now. I know
think-
that there are some European places like Sweden, Holland, where like it's actually mandatory you learn English.
Yeah,
But like I don't know
I
about
think
others.
I can't remember who it was, but someone was saying when Xabi Alonso was manager of Bayer Leverkusen, he only spoke in English all the time.
Oh,
And
but
he
that's
knows,
what Slot did at Feyenoord as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he knows German and all that, but he only spoke in English. Like everyone understood, like everyone speaks English.
Man,
So
yeah.
big up Wade, man.
Yeah. Big up yourself, G. Big up, man.
Yeah, it's just the way it is. But yeah, but did you see the size of Leone?
Yeah, I don't know whether it was the camera playing tricks because of the angle, but
No, he's
how
6'5".
was he that much taller than Alisson? It was mad, bro.
He's 6'5". He's a beast.
I'm actually really looking forward to seeing him play. To be fair, like I'm actually really looking. I don't know when he'll play. Will it probably be maybe one of the cup games? Maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely going to play because.
Is it true that he is living with Chiesa, or is that just a very easy
I
conclusion?
think Chiesa's helping him settle in because he's Italian as well, ain't he? So I think he's helping him settle in. That would make sense to me. If I'm going to buddy him up with anyone, it'd be Chiesa, wouldn't it? Cause...
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, naturally. And again, like I was saying, he probably looks up to Chiesa. Whether people agree with me or not, I think Chiesa's an Italian legend. And
I love Chiesa, man.
I'm sure he grew up watching Chiesa. Do you know what I mean? So he probably looks up to him. So it will make perfect sense.
Do you know how much Chiesa loves Liverpool?
But I'm so happy Chiesa's staying, bro.
Did you see him pointing at the badge when he scored as well?
Yeah. Bro, Chiesa's going to play a role this season, man. I'm telling you.
He's got the technical... You see his goal he scored? Because Jamie Carragher called it a miss kick, first of all, didn't he, on commentary?
Nah, man, he faded that volley on purpose, man.
He faded it. His technical ability is arguably the highest out of all our forwards.
Well, but remember, this is world-class Chiesa before the ACL. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's had a bad injury, but it's Chiesa.
I think Chiesa will score goals for Liverpool. I think Slot's going to use Chiesa a lot more this season than people think.
I think, you know where he might start him? He might start him in a few of those Champions League games against the opposition that's not necessarily as scary. So if we've got like a PSV, I think he might give Chiesa that game and give Salah the night off. Because Salah's got to start accepting at 33. Bro, you can't just play every game. You know
I hear you. I don't know if it'd be Salah. I actually think right now he sees Chiesa as the other number 9. I think that's his position.
What place? Is down the middle the best idea for Chiesa, though? I don't know.
Because of his finishing, it probably might be, you know.
Maybe.
I think he might look at Chiesa as because every time he brings Chiesa on now, it's usually through the middle. I could see him. I could see Chiesa because he came on for Ekitike, didn't he?
Yeah.
Played through the middle,
do you know what? I'm not mad at it.
Because I think Frimpong will play. I think Frimpong will go right wing when Salah's not there.
Maybe.
Well, we've seen it for the Dutch team, haven't we? Yes, where he likes to.
Yeah. But that's the only thing he didn't perform well when he played there for Holland.
No, he didn't. But his pace is ridiculous on that side of the pitch.
Yeah. I'm actually a little bit worried about that little pull he felt in his hamstring. First Premier League game, and he felt his hamstring. Like, bro, better get used to it.
I think Slot said he's all right. The thing is, though, he's never played in a league this pacey, has he?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? He's used to being the quick one, and everyone's got to keep up with him.
Everyone's
in this
quick.
league, everyone's quick. So it's like, do you know what I mean? But
I thought he had a good game, by the way, before he went off.
Yeah. He was having a good game. He was.
This is recovery. It's mad.
Look, it's 3:20. I'm gonna wrap it up. You're a legend for jumping on at such short notice, Jay. Like you said, I just put the back signal up, saw who was available. You lot have made me feel better as well. I'll be honest. You lot have actually, if you lot hadn't jumped into the stream, it would have been a rant rather than a conversation. You know what I mean? You lot have calmed me down a bit. You lot have made me feel a bit better because
it would have been demonetized. You would have got that little red signal at the end of you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I was starting to feel
no ads can play on this channel.
Oh man, and you know what? Big up everyone who's joined in as well, man. I can see a lot of people in the chat that are actually in England, meaning that you are on the same time as us. Eastwood again, my brother. Big up yourself all the way from US. And I'll big up everyone, man. I appreciate you guys for jumping on this absolute random, spontaneous one. But I will be back, guys. I will be back. I don't know how many times I'll be able to do a show per week, but at least one show per week from now on. I'm back. I'm gonna be putting some effort into my own channel now, guys. So big up yourselves, man, as always. Again, big up yourself, Jay, brother. We'll talk soon, obviously. And yeah, man, big up everyone, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. And yeah, gaming streams will be coming back, definitely. Big things, man, for the year, man.
So I've got, before you go, so I've got this computer here, right? And I did not realize it till this week that this was a gaming computer. So it's got so I've got an extra hard drive on it that's got 1 terabyte, and it says it's a gaming hard drive and it's got 1 terabyte on it. I only found it the other day.
So you can jump in, bro. We'll have some.
Yeah,
you know,
so I've actually got a gaming computer, gaming PC.
Look, there you go, man. We'll definitely, man. Big things, man. Big things, guys. Big things. The season is gonna be a good one. Hopefully, anyway. So make sure you smash that like button, guys. And subscribe if you're new. Make sure you do the same for Jay as well. Make sure we are subscribed to everybody. And yeah, man, we will see you on the flip side, people. Isak, Newcastle, Liverpool. I just want this saga over with now, man. Let's just get this done. We're out, man. Peace.